Hey guys, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty. I recently had the pleasure of diving back into the golden era of retro gaming with the Sinden Light Gun. And I cannot express how thrilled I am to have this incredible accessory. The Sinden Light Gun has really breathed light back into my retro light gun shooters and has completely transformed the way I experience classic titles. So let's sit back and I'm going to give you a nice review of this gun. I'm going to tell you how you hook it up, how easy it is to hook up or how problematic, how well it's built, and my overall thoughts. And stick with it to the very end, because at the very end, I'm even going to show you some of the layouts that I use for how I set this up and what preferences I prefer. All right, so let's get into it. If you're interested in a Sinden Light Gun or other products, you can check out their website here. For example, you can get the Sinden Light Gun for $104.99 or the Sinden Light Gun with Recoil for $159.99. That's the one I chose and I'm going to be reviewing here today. You can also get 2-packs, so you have 2 guns, holsters, or the arcade pedal, which I didn't get, but I'm just testing the gun today. Maybe I'll get one of those pedals later. Here we have the Sinden Light Gun, the first true LCD compatible light gun. No need for a CRTV or special sensors. Let's take a look at this. It's built really well, has a lot of heft to it. It's built really strong and sturdy. It's got a D-pad and then 2 buttons on the left side, as well as 2 buttons on the right side, all fully programmable to whatever your needs are for the game. And look at this, you can cock it right there. I love that feature, so you don't have to shoot off screen if you don't want. And it has an incredibly long cord too, so you can be quite a far away from your television or projector screen if you choose to use one. It's really awesome. I mean, look how long this cord is. You got a lot of length right here. I really do like the weight and feel of this gun. It doesn't feel chintzy in any way. It should last a long time. When you receive the Sinden Light Gun, it comes in a box like this. It's boxed very nice, very safely, and securely. And if you look at the back of the box, it's going to give you the website that you need to go to download the software to get started. When you type in the URL and go to the Sinden Light Gun site, it will take you to this page here, where you can also order more light guns, you can get an arcade pedal, get additional details, but the thing I'm going to focus on here is the driver software, where you're going to scroll down and find the right software for you to click on and download. After you download the appropriate files, I recommend creating a file on your desktop to put all the files into so that you can extract them. So when you do that, you're going to extract those files into that folder, and you're going to see several options here, several things with instructions that you can read depending if you're using it with a Raspberry Pi, as well as application software. In this case, I'm going to use the Windows software. After installing the software, make sure you plug in your Sinden Light Gun and then turn on the application. You're going to see here there's an agree to licensing terms and conditions. Make sure you click on that box. Also, notice the important information. Make sure you follow those instructions and enable game mode on your display on your monitor. And make sure you've changed your Windows mouse refresh speed to maximum as well. Update your Lightwear firmware if available, and it's just essential to set your TV height and save in the cursor offset. It's going to walk us through all these with the tabs at the top. Here, I'm going to make sure I select the proper light gun for what I have, and you can search in case there's any more updates available as well. Now, the next tab, you're going to be able to see your screen and how it appears. You want to make sure that it's actually being read on there. As you can see, it's picturing my screen as I move the light gun. You can make any necessary adjustments here if you need to, but the main thing is to make sure that you're seeing the image properly in the camera. In the next tab, you're going to be able to adjust your border for your monitor. You're going to want to have a white border around it for the gun to detect properly. You can then hit the show and hide border to test it to make sure it's working well. Then select the next tab, which is going to allow you to adjust the alignment of your light gun to make sure that it's shooting straight. Once you get it aligned, you're going to save changes and move to this page, where it's going to be essential, if you haven't already, to calibrate for the size of your television. Make sure you enter the appropriate size. And then you can select what each one of the buttons does on the gun in the next tab, and allowing you to customize it to fit whatever your needs may be. Then you're going to come to this screen here where you can test the recoil. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You can set it and see how much of a recoil you're going to get with each setting to make sure you get the pulse you want, as well as the speed you want for the recoil in your gun. The Sinden has some amazing recoil in it, and you can adjust it to be just the way you want it, or no recoil at all, whatever fits your gaming needs. Once you get all that done, you're going to want to open up your emulator of choice, as long as it works with the Sinden gun. I would recommend looking it up and seeing which ones are compatible. Here I'm using a PlayStation 1 emulator to work with the light gun, and I'm playing none other than Time Crisis. So I launched that. You're going to see the white border around, and now it will show your reticle too for your gun while you play. I found that it works really well. It moves fast, it tracks well, and I didn't have any issues at all. Currently, with this setup for PlayStation 1, I am using DuckStation and found it to work very well and very easily. For the next test, I decided to try the Sinden Light Gun with Steam games, and I tried a new one that I've never played before, Dead Containment. And I will say I was incredibly surprised with how easy it was to use. Just make sure you choose an appropriate Sinden Light Gun compatible game, and it works very easy. Pretty much plug and play. First and foremost, the accuracy and the responsiveness on the Sinden Light Gun is absolutely remarkable. I love that. Whether I'm blasting away at pixelated invaders or whatever classic retro game I'm in, for whatever shooter it is, and I'm taking down virtual targets, this light gun is very good, and it's compatible with many games. The Sinden Light Gun provides a great experience. That technology is really amazing, and I love this little click here. This is just cool. You know, I've heard and read many reviews saying that this Sinden Light Gun is challenging to set up, but I found it to be surprisingly straightforward, and I was up and running in really less than an hour. The Sinden Light Gun seamlessly integrates with a variety of different types of displays as well as platforms, making it an incredibly versatile gun, if you will, for a lot of different gaming setups. One of the standout features for me is the adjustable calibration settings. This allows me to fine-tune the gun's performance. It allows me to have it so it suits my preferences and the specific nuances for each game. So I could, for example, program which buttons work best for me. If I wanted to reload with that, I get my choice of it. Its level of customization that really adds an extra layer to this gun and satisfaction. Matter of fact, and I really like the weight of this thing too. It feels like something's in your, girthy in your hands and awesome. And you feel the feedback. I really like that. Beyond the technical aspects of this Sinden Light Gun has brought back really a good sense of nostalgia for me. That's hard to put into words. Playing the Light Gun's games with this accessory evokes memories of actually being in the arcades, those long gaming sessions that you had with friends, and the joy of mastering a challenging game. It's not just a gadget. It's really a portal to the past that's brimming with sentimental value for me. In addition to an incredible performance, the Sinden Light Gun also boasts a very durable build that feels comfortable and natural in your hand. I really like the grip pattern on this gun. The ergonomic design really ensures that I can play for a lot of hours. Now granted, it does have some weight to it, so if you don't like lifting something hefty and you can't do that, you might not be able to play for quite as long in one sitting, but I love that. I think it overall enhances the enjoyment in realistic feel, if you will. I found that any challenges setting up the Sinden gun was really more with the emulation software and not the Sinden software itself. Before purchasing a Sinden gun, make sure that it's going to work with the emulator software that you choose to work with. I struggled at first to get mine to work with my PlayStation 1 emulation. And well, I found out that the emulator really was the issue. I switched to a different emulator, which I happened to use DuckStation, and it was really easy to set up and get to use. After testing this for around 3 weeks, closer to 4, I never had a single issue where the light gun software crashed. I played many games. And I also like that you do not have to set up any sensors on your display that you're using, keeping your desk nice, or whatever your television is, or whatever you're playing on, nice and clear and clean. Now, I can't say that the gun is perfect. To improve the Sinden gun, I would strongly suggest adding the ability to save your mapped presets. Maybe in the software, having a drop-down menu where you could select and pick and save. Now, I know you can do that in a lot of your emulators, but I think it'd be nice to have in the software itself. But hey, maybe that's just me. Now, you're also going to need to make sure you're not getting any light causing reflections on your screen. That could cause issues and make the Sinden gun not work properly. I tested it. When I didn't have any reflections, it worked smooth and easily. But when I was getting reflections, I noticed that it was jittery. I was getting a lot of jitter on the target with it. So make sure your light is proper as well. Another issue I did have with this gun was using the rapid fire. Now, it doesn't really cause any real problems, but the intensity of the feedback actually diminishes if you have it on rapid fire. And that's because of power. You can only get so much power through your USB, so having an additional power source hooking to it would probably prevent that problem and have it not diminish with the strength. But then again, you're gonna have another cord, if that was the case, hooked to it. So I think I can deal with just a little bit of diminished rumble on the gun. Well guys, in conclusion, the Sinden Light Gun is really, truly a game changer for anyone who's a fan of classic and modern light gun titles. It's not exactly plug and play. I'm going to be honest with that. So it may be challenging for some people that don't understand emulators. And I'm not the most technically knowledgeable person either, but I do know how to get emulators up and going. But there are still some challenges. The Sinden guns include software that is very easy to use. Some emulators now, though, are plug and play, and I think we're going to continue to see more of that for Sinden Light Guns. The Sinden Light Gun may rekindle your love for these timely, classic, retro light gun shooting games. Now, with that said, it's not cheap, but it's actually very good price for what you get. I think this gun's gonna last a long time if you treat it good. And it really does bring that arcade feel. I would not recommend it to somebody that has no clue how to use an emulator though. I think you're gonna be lost. But if you want to give it a try, I would look into reading about it first. Go to their page, look at the software, go to their Discord. There is lots of help and information that you can get to help you set up your system. So if you don't know what you're doing, you still have a good chance. If you like to dabble and try things, why not? I found with myself, with my my limited emulator skills, I didn't have that much of a problem. So if you're looking to add top-notch nostalgia as well as modern fun to your gaming experience, the Sinden Light Gun is an investment that I don't think you'll regret. And I do think we'll be seeing also more games, not just for the retro ones, but more on Steam and good old games that are going to allow us to get even more use out of this gun. Well, thank you for your time, everybody. I greatly appreciate all of you and your time for watching this. I hope you found this helpful. Now, I'm going to show right now on the screen the settings that I use in DuckStation to get this being able to be used with a lot of the PlayStation 1 light gun games. I hope you find that helpful. That's one of the areas I struggled with, is figuring out how to set that part up. And I could not find a single thing showing how to do it. So this should help you with that. Well, thank you everybody for your time. I hope you have a great day. Until next time, keep it frugal.